Good evening, everyone. We are here for a round of Scottish Gin again, without any technical glitches tonight, thankfully. Hopefully so far, touch wood. But we're absolutely delighted to have Mark from SOS Gin tonight, one half of SOS Gin. He can give us the story, the background, a bit more about the botanicals, which is something they're particularly proud of, all Scottish botanicals, which is very rare. So just really excited to hear a bit more about their Scottish gin journey so far. So on that note, we'll bring Mark in. Are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
I'm saying welcome.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
All things good.
You're in a lovely corner of your home, clearly there.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I turned the camera around, it would be less. It's completely staged. You know, all the rubbish is at the back of the camera. Actually, I mean, like it's well and truly hidden.
Yeah.
You know, there was a mountain bike here, the bottles and things earlier on today, and I thought,
well. Good for you for making an effort. It's I'm sure everyone's in the same boat.
I'd like to say we're sitting in a film studio somewhere in Hollywood, but obviously we're not. So yeah.
We're in the same boat as you. So thank you very much for joining us. It's lovely to have you. You and Craig have always been so supportive of us, and we really appreciate it. And thank you for agreeing to join us tonight. So for those that don't know much about SOS Gin and yourselves, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves and what motivated you to start SOS Gin?
Well, I'm Mark, actually. I'm like one half, actually. I'm like SOS Gins. Craig has still got our full-time jobs.
Right.
I'm furloughed at this moment in time. Craig is still working. So between trying to balance actually running SOS Gin and work and forage and the running of the business, actually. I mean, so it's funny to have a little extra time.
Yeah.
So it's SOS Gin. My background originally was I was head of eggs actually for a drinks company, but I didn't really know anything about distilling. So I ended up actually taking. Craig got me a simple day class actually. And it was with Jonathan in Glasgow at Crossville Gin.
Yeah.
And he really inspired me, and I just kind of thought, originally I didn't say, well, I want to do this, but and then after I thought about it, then I realised that actually this could be quite good. So I looked at other courses, taken a distilling course. I've learned actually to be a distiller, actually. So that's really how it kind of came around.
Yeah.
So the kind of idea actually kind of doing something but not being qualified, and it kind of actually like knowing if something is right or something is wrong in a business. So to be qualified actually it helps us greatly. And with doing that course, it also actually gave me more understanding about the botanicals actually. I mean, like that is vast.
Yeah.
But also as well actually on what is achievable. Originally, SOS was never. I originally went out to be completely Scottish. It was to see about creating a gin, but then I realised it was completely possible to do this. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot more work because there are other things that you can't buy Scottish juniper. You can't buy Scottish rosehips. You can easily get the rhubarb, you can easily get the chamomile, actually. But chamomile grows wild. To learn about the botanicals and what we needed and how the kind of flavour profile came around. So there was even one kind of lightning in a bottle moment, actually. It was SOS Gin is very, very smooth. Mm-hmm. But sometimes gins actually can be bitter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, the bitterness actually comes from the seeds. So we ended up actually, I realised that by removing the seeds, it also removed the bitterness. So it also sort of took some of the dryness away.
Okay.
So by being actually but I think it was something like a cake recipe. It was something silly, I'm the son of a baker. But you don't cook, with like a lot of seeds actually in a mixture, because it can make it better. So same thing actually when it came actually to doing a distillation and using fresh botanicals, again it's unheard of.
Yeah. So how did you touched on it a little bit there, but how did you end up developing your own recipe? Like you say, you set out to use all Scottish botanicals, which I can imagine at first thought is like, oh yeah, I can do that. But as you say, the reality is that's very, very difficult to achieve. And I know you guys do that. So how did you end up developing the recipe and manage to pull those final botanicals together?
The original recipe actually, when I was at school, and then before I finished, I actually changed all the botanicals over to be Scottish, and it was night and day. I mean, roses come from Egypt, and they're purely shells actually. And if I thought I should actually had some roses, Scottish roses, to show you, because actually it smells just like jam. They're beautiful and rich and plump, and they grow wild. So the kind of idea. I mean, there might only be 4 base botanicals in SOS Gin, but there's 2 different types of Scottish lowland juniper.
Okay.
Lowland juniper, actually, because it's here and it's on the doorstep. There's a ground cover juniper, and there's a vertical growing juniper. Both have slightly different flavours.
Okay, so interesting.
Matching that together, that's where that kind of toffee, vanilla flavour tone comes from, actually. The rose hips that they use, there's 3 different types of rose hips that they use. And then from the kind of plum, kind of ornamental rose hips to the old Scottish rose hips, and they can be as black and as hard as marble, really, they're jet black. But that also as well actually has that depth.
Okay.
And rhubarb actually, it's grown on friends' gardens and friends' allotments. So SOS actually, when we went on the walk, there's no pollution. There's no preservatives. There's no.
It's just wild, I guess. The botanicals.
It's just completely wild. So in that you cannot buy.
Yeah. And so was it trial and error? Did you just pick loads of different botanicals that you could forage yourselves, and then test until, did you just trial do lots of trial runs until you got the right combination?
It was Jonathan, and it was one of those things. I've always been a good listener. And he went and said it, and I don't know if it was a bit, he actually mentioned, but a lot of people I don't think picked it up. It was the base botanicals actually when you put it in your personal mortar. It went on smell. So the tone and the depth, actually, when I went to originally to Strathern, and the master distillers up there actually balance and chamomile is a very difficult thing to do when you're distilling. But the initial note and how it started, originally I went on smell.
Okay, yeah.
The balance was right.
Yeah.
So again, actually, along with juniper, actually, so, and it was running actually, that's really where the kind of balance slightly came in, actually, they kind of withdrawn some or put some back, but that eureka moment actually was removing the seeds.
Okay. Yeah.
That's where that softness came from, actually, it gives that warmth and it completely takes all the bitterness away.
Yeah.
I guess that's one thing that's kind of amazing about the distillation process is you can start with botanicals that they smell fantastic, even raw, they can taste fantastic. Once they're in a distillation run, they come out the other end and it's almost, it's undrinkable almost. So there's definitely an art and a skill to, I guess, not only getting the flavour profile correct, but also balancing the ratio of botanicals. Too much of one thing can overpower another, and
it was slightly terrifying until the master distiller actually went. I mean, these are masters, and I'm still green behind the ears. So to come out and say that they've never tasted anything like this, it comes out still at that strength.
Yeah.
It kind of it does make you quite proud, it makes you slightly beam, and then you realise, actually, maybe I have got something really quite special here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's everybody's distiller's gin is special, and to them actually, it's a start in our story and our beginning where things that came from.
No, absolutely.
I guess for every gin maker and every brand owner, it's your baby almost.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Do I think actually I've got the holy grail of gin? No, I've got something. It's a lovely product and it's great. It's hopefully one day I might come up with it. No, actually. It's been a wonderful journey actually. I mean, like through this and the distillers and things that we've made at the events. I've loved it. I've always loved doing the events and dealing with the public.
Yeah.
It's one of the things actually, and then seeing the reaction, the public, just because you don't need to have SOS Gin with purely tonic, just because you don't, it's just not your palate. So have a bit of lemonade if you want to have a bit of lemonade, or ginger ale, or whatever you need. What's your go-to mixer? That's where I would always say to start with.
Oh
my God, I've not even started.
Yeah, I know. You'll have to pour yourself one.
I've got a glass here. I've got some summer frozen berries.
Yeah.
When you're in the bar trade, after you slice your orange and your lime, don't throw it away. Put it in the freezer, and it's ready for the next day. Don't put it on a saucer upside down, because it will just kind of curl. Slice it actually that you were going to do it actually. Your slice of orange, your lime, whatever you want, and put it in the freezer for another day.
That's a great tip. Ooh.
Correct. You know what? It is one of those things.
Because citrus fruits are one of those as well, isn't it? You can go off quick and you can waste. You can end up wasting a lot. So that's a great tip actually.
It comes out easy. Pop it in your drink actually. You can even slice it actually how you want it on your glass.
Yeah.
And then actually, I mean, like even the peel, anything that you want actually, I mean, like all those oils and everything is actually kind of trapped and it's frozen.
Yeah.
As fresh as it's ever likely to eat.
I like that. When
you're pouring a gin and tonic, actually, put the ice in, put some berries in, or your course there. Now, SOS always thinks was born in the summer. So, and on the walks, there's loads of black currants, there's raspberries, all these things actually. These are not local. This is just purely these are animal. But nevertheless, it's
works the
still
same. Yeah.
So when the little trick with the bottle, you rock it from left to right, and it comes straight off.
We'll definitely talk about the bottle later. Actually, yeah, because I know that's a nice. We touch the glass stopper.
Measure your drink. So you know actually how to recreate it. Now everybody actually, I mean, like, has got. Of course, not everybody's going to have a proper bar measure, but you will have a little kind of shooter glass. These are 25 mils, so you can double it up, make it 50 if you wanted. Actually, I mean, like you could half fill it and make it 35. Find out actually what you like. Some people like quite strong gin and tonic. Some people like quite light gin and tonics. It really just depends again on the palate. Pour your measure in. And there you go. I'm having some tonic. Just standard tonic. Some people like the Mediterranean. Some people actually like the light. Just go for whatever you want. Little trick actually. I mean, like when you're pouring the tonic in the glass, tip the glass. And then you're pouring it in.
See, you told us this earlier, and I honestly did not know that was the proper way to pour tonic. I am inclined to just glug it in. It might be my impatience more than anything, but
I guess it's maybe similar to pouring a pint.
But yes, actually, it keeps the bubbles.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It keeps it carbonated. Now that doesn't matter actually if it's tonic. It doesn't matter actually. I mean, like if it's lemonade. If you pour actually your mixer down the side of the glass, the bubbles will remain. But if you originally just glug it in, it fizzes and then it's just flat.
That's good to know. So I'm intrigued to know, you've talked about the walk a couple of times. So I want to know about this famous one, but no, I mean...
Without giving too much away.
Yeah, no, I just... So you obviously forage for botanicals, and, you know, a lot... I suppose you could argue a lot of Scottish gin makers do, but, you know, you've mentioned they are exclusively Scottish botanicals. So how and where, if you're willing to say, even just roughly, you know, do you... forage for botanicals? I guess it's in and around Edinburgh where you are.
Midlothian, most actually, I mean, like around Midlothian, they're all in the lowlands of Scotland as such. I mean, like they're in maybe about 15 miles actually, the house, the Lonely Head.
Yeah, okay.
There's a really famous walk that Craig and I go on, and it's from Lonely Head to Roslin, and it's along the old viaduct.
Right.
And it's completely paved. It's even lit now. Before, I think it was only last year it got lit. So you can actually, the whole walkway is completely lit. And on that walkway, between all the wildlife that's there, actually, I mean, like, for all these wild species, we've also got Roslin Glen, which is, you know, hundreds of years old, actually, and it's completely untouched.
Wow.
So and then of course there's always been like a lot of chat and talk actually. I mean, like when Craig and I are on our walk, and the original Roslin Inn. So of course that's where we will have it's a very nice watering hole. So if you're ever in this neck of the woods, go in and say hello to Mr. and Mrs. Harris.
Okay.
So they're there. I'm sure they'll love me for that, actually. See if I get a pint after lockdown. But you never know.
Nice try, yeah.
So then, so we would forage actually where tubs actually. A lot of we've got 10-litre tubs, and of course a lot of people think they're strawberries actually, but they are in fact rose hips. So of course we would go to the original after we've got their rose hips. We'd have a pint, walk back.
Brilliant.
Or two, or get the bus, because it's on a very good bus route as well if you have too much. And then we process the rose hips either on the morning. So the rose hips are washed, they're quartered, they're dehydrated, and we start de-seeding them, which is quite a process, because there is a machine you can buy to remove rose hips.
Wow.
Seeds, but it's £8,000 actually, and
that's crazy.
You've been in my house actually. Where would I put a rose hip de-seeding machine? So I've no idea. So that's really, I mean, like a lot. It's really along that walk, and I mean, like there's no cars along there, so there's no pollution. It's wild. It's organic. The rose hips that we've de-seeded, actually, I mean, like the seeds go back into the place that we found the seeds. See that the birds actually, I mean, like go through the rose hips to get to the seeds, but they don't want the shells. We want the shells, but not the seeds.
Yeah.
So you give back.
So, and if the rose hips are too ripe, we can't put them through the dehydration process because it would just turn to mush. They have to be a certain, not too ripe, and certainly not green, because that would again add a kind of bitterness to our gin.
Yeah. So you know what to look for when you're out foraging. Obviously.
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
What about the juniper then?
The juniper? Oh, that's not
top secret.
These things actually you have to keep very quiet. Actually, when you've got juniper.
Absolutely, I do not blame you.
Correct answer.
And so tell us about, you've talked a lot about the botanicals. At the end of, the distillation process, how would you describe the flavour profile of SOS Gin?
You've went very quiet.
Oh, have we?
The volume's turned down. Is it something I've done? I haven't touched anything at my end. Can you still hear me at yours?
You hear us now?
Is that better?
A little bit, I think.
We did put on echo cancellation because we got a comment to say there was a little bit of echo, but if you can hear us better now?
No, it's still quiet, but I can still hear you.
As long as you can hear my questions, I guess.
Well, SOS actually it's very smooth.
Yeah.
If you smell it, actually, I mean, like it's juniper to the front. You face actually, I mean, like a slight floral, but the floral actually that you get is actually the rose hip and the rhubarb.
Okay.
that comes first, and then of course you've kind of got that apple blossom is the chamomile at the end, which also creates the softness. But because the lowland juniper has a kind of vanilla toffee to it, and some people, and I think your palate picked it up, a slight licorice.
I remember thinking that must be in there, but you
there isn't, but it's not.
Yeah.
There's no licorice in actually SOS Gin actually, but that's actually the blend actually. But only a few people can pick that up.
Yeah, interesting.
So, but also so it adds to that sweetness.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but I think people actually originally say licorice because it's a lot of distillers use it as a go-to natural sweetener.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's other ways to sweeten.
Of course.
Gin.
Yeah, yeah. And so you at the start there, you showed us the glass stopper. We've got a bottle here. It is empty. Sorry, it was too delicious to keep. But tell us a little bit more about the bottle and the brand and how you came up with that. It's quite distinctive. We get a lot of, every time we do a competition or a photo, you get a lot of love for the bottle. So tell us how that came about.
Now, of course, every distiller when it comes actually, they want some shelf space.
Yeah.
So there was different ideas and different bottles, and of course it started actually, of course, because of the company and the trade names that SOS Gin. It's SOS Gin is trademarked to us. Mm-hmm. All that nobody had ever trademarked SOS under Spirit. So that history that we've kind of inherited, but also as well we do have a responsibility because of the SOS. We did actually approach the Portman brothers actually after we were awarded actually the license actually for SOS, and of course it is an abbreviation actually. It's Scotland's Other Spirit.
Yeah, yeah.
We also the other trademarks that we own is Save Our Souls, which is SOS. Now that's going to be our naval strength gin.
Brilliant!
Ooh, nice.
Oh, exciting.
So we also own the trademark, the saying, gin truly is Scotland's Other Spirit.
Brilliant.
So the name itself actually, 70% of the world's gin is made in Scotland. So that was really where the Scotland's Other Spirit came from, the trade name.
Yeah.
So because actually, we had the trade name, the company name actually, SOS Gin Limited actually. We needed something actually that would link the Scottish spirit, the spirit in our bottle, Save Our Souls. We kind of made up our minds actually that we were going to have our angel motif because it's the spirit.
Yeah.
And Save Our Souls, and it was the spirit in our bottle is very clean and very pure.
Yeah.
Along with the botanicals, so it's uncomplicated. So we wanted something that was very, very clean.
Yeah.
So really, that's why it was chosen. The side there is nothing printed on the back of the bottle. Mm-hmm. I wanted to kind of create a small illusion. If you put the two bottles on a shelf together, as you walk past, the angels rotate.
Yeah, interesting.
They move.
Yeah.
So it does catch your eye.
Yeah.
The print on either side, one side has got the legality, the other side has got the story of SOS. And also as well, right at the bottom, we've got even Morse code. That, if you look at the bottom, it's ... That's SOS Gin at the bottom.
Right, never picked up on that. Okay.
No, so there's quite a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So, and of course, being Scottish and as pure as we are, our little Scottish shield, which I have to live up to because I'm very pure. And then we finish off actually with the glass stopper. The glass stopper actually is a lot of fun. If I've put it on our webpage, how you take it off. Basically, all you have to do is actually just rock it to one side. Because of the grommet that's there actually. it will come off, but it will come off with, you probably let it launch the cork somewhere into the next room, or take the cat out or something, but that's how you do it. You just rock it off to one side.
And obviously the glass stopper finish is obviously a bit more expensive as well. You know, we've heard from other gin makers that when it comes to your finishes for your bottle, there's various options you can go with, and a lot of them say the glass stopper's up at the higher end of the sort of price bracket as well.
Well, there is, but because actually, I mean, like, I ended up saving, when it came to the boxes, like SOS, I was held up with kind of licensing and the bottle finishing actually for about 5-6 months, actually, I mean, like, just before we launched. Otherwise, we were launched actually before Christmas.
Yeah.
But because actually, I mean, like, we were held up, this was new technology. The new technology as well, actually, was the foil ink print. That again, heat transfers actually, I mean, like on foil ink print, our eco footprint is very, very small. It actually works better actually for us. The inside of, we changed the design of the inside of a cardboard box, and we use a third less cardboard because there's a manual labour cost for the. Do you know that everybody knows the 3 pieces of card that make the 6?
Yeah.
There's a manual labour cost to put them together, which makes it more expensive than the box.
Yeah.
So we found a design and adapted it for SOS Gin that uses 1 piece of card that folds in half and 2 wings pop out the side to make the 6.
Oh, what? And his wings as well. That's very.
So it's called the SOS Wing Divider actually. So we took it that to a bottle. So this is what, and it comes up just to the neck of the bottle, the shoulders of the bottle. So we use a third less cardboard.
Right. So you could save there and maybe spend a bit more on.
Exactly. That's where the extra. I could justify it because originally we had friends over after we got our licenses and finished our first distillation. There was a trick about the bottle. The bottle was more or less set in stone that that's what we wanted. But if we put a black wooden top on or an aluminium top and the dimensions are identical, the lighter cap made the bottle look bigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was again with the glass.
Yeah.
Because of the light bouncing around, it made the bottle actually look bigger, and it actually gave us a lot more shelf space actually, and just slightly clean. It's just because what's in it is clean and pure. The bottle is just very clean and pure.
Yeah.
And of course, when we sell our gin, it just doesn't come like that. It actually comes like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if someone orders, that was one of the questions, was going to be how people get hold of it. Is that if they order from your website, they get it like that?
No,
Retailers?
These are the bags that we sell it if you're in the shops. If you order it just on the website, because of I think in Ali at Craft 56 is the go-to person on our website. Actually, he will soon get it to you.
Yeah.
Depending actually where you are actually in Scotland, if you're in South Queensferry, Linlithgow, I mean the Champagny Inn will deliver it to your door.
Okay.
If you're in West Fife, the Juniper Wine Cafe in Dunfermline will deliver it to your door, and they will deliver it in the bag.
Wow. Okay. Right.
So, but normally if it's postal orders, the bag normally doesn't come with it. But if you contacted us, we would soon, if it's for a gift, we would soon make sure you had the bag.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons the bag was never logoed.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it was also as well. There was a slight legality about advertising alcohol in a bag.
Okay.
But
of course.
because I really wanted people to reuse it.
Yeah.
So it's a high end. Okay, they might not get the gin in it, but it's a lovely bag to put. It's Auntie Flo's birthday. There's a bottle of wine.
Yeah, it could be
regifted. It's Uncle George's birthday. Well, give her, and so on and so on.
We all do it. We repurpose them.
Yes.
No, it's good. It's a nice touch. And so I guess I'm trying to think. When did you guys launch? Was it the start of 2019? That's right. So
January, I think.
Yeah.
It was. January.
So you've been on the go for I guess 15, 16 month, something like that. What would you say is your proudest moment in that short while
after our first distillation, that was an amazing achievement. The way it's been received at the gin festivals, the International Wine and Spirit Awards. A few months after launch, we won 2 medals for Best Gin and Best Gin and Tonic. The journey, where it's going, and it's just been lovely, actually. The International Scottish Gin Day on the 3rd of August, and that was which I got to meet you for the first time.
Yeah.
That was lovely, actually.
Great.
It was just short, but it was still lovely to see you.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's really exciting.
And you guys made such an effort. You put a couple of events on in Edinburgh. It was great.
Yes, actually, our journey started actually because it was a part of our story. It started at the original, where we were there for gin and tonics and anybody that wanted to meet us.
Yeah.
Then we went to Stewart's Brewery because the original actually was Mr. Harris. At the original, they bought our first bottle.
Oh, okay.
They bought our first, not just customer, but our first hotelier, our first restaurant. He was our first. He got invoice number 1.
Yeah.
So I was quite proud about that.
Yeah.
Then we were at Stewart's, and then we went to EH20, which they created an SOS Gin cocktail. And then we met up with yous, actually, I'm in Light at the Balmoral, and then we went on to our event, actually, which was at the street bar.
Yeah.
At the top of Broken Street. So it was such a nice journey.
Yeah.
To go on, because it's the street as well, actually. Of course, they were the first main bar in Edinburgh to have SOS Gin.
Yeah. And presumably these bars and these, are still supporting you and still customers and...
Yes.
Brilliant.
Very much so, and it's grown from that, actually. Of course, it's a shame just now, of course, they're closed.
Yeah.
We were actually going to be with their main summer, we were on their cocktail list, one of their main summer cocktails is a bramble.
Okay,
we were going to be, because SOS has that slight berry.
Yeah, I know you like to serve it with berries, so yeah, I can see how it would lend
itself
well, yeah.
They loved the idea, and so when we come out of all this, I know it's going to take time.
Yeah.
But eventually, but also as well, our first one of our main restaurants actually in Edinburgh, or we've always been linked with kind of food,
okay,
and chocolate, and so these things are all. It's been really nice. There was last time we were at our favourite restaurant, Craig and I. We were in, and of course the restaurant had our gin. And of course, a table of 9 came in and sat next to us. And of course, one of them, Sebastian, had came over and he said that he rhymed out the gins that he had, and he said that he'd actually had a new local gin. And of course, 3 of the 9 of the table wanted to try it. Mm-hmm. So of course, your
ears perk up and you're...
They're sitting next diagonal lengthwise, and of course you're trying to kind of look groomed. And of course, all of a sudden, actually, they were just, oh, that's wonderful, that's lovely, and of course everybody else started. So it was quite nice.
That's completely. What's great about that is you've not asked for it. That's just by coincidence. You just have overheard that, so you know it's a genuine reaction as well.
Yes,
yeah. Brilliant.
So, but it was one of those. Oh, it could go horribly wrong.
It could go either way,
but it's these little memorable moments, I guess, that make what you're doing, a fantastic journey to be on, and. It's all these things, I guess, you take with you, and it's all these memories you make, is it?
Yes.
No, fantastic. So, I guess post lockdown, what are you most looking forward to?
Oh, I think what everybody wants, actually. International Scottish Gin Day, of course. Actually, you guys, actually, of course, down in Edinburgh. Are you going to come down to Edinburgh?
I don't know. We don't even know. Last year we made the point that we made plans for Edinburgh so early, and then we realised we were so busy with social media. We maybe should have just been at home in front of the computer. Yeah. Wait, but that seems like such a shame. So I don't know.
But it's yours.
What's that?
It's yours.
I know. We need to enjoy it. But watch this space. We'll keep you informed.
So I think International Scottish Gin Day.
Yeah.
That has to be a must. Depending on when we're going to really kind of come out of this. Of course, our favourite walk, going to the original, seeing our friends actually. I mean, like the local, heading in, of course, actually to see Louise and Wendy at the street bar. Going down to Escargot Blue in Broughton Street actually is our French. It's the French restaurant. It's my favourite restaurant.
Yeah.
And of course, the food is amazing. So if you're ever
good shout out, no, it sounds good. And as you say, it's nice. It'll be nice to get back and support these independent businesses. Given that they've all they're going through a rough time right now. Yeah. So I think hopefully the whole support local and eat local and everything will, that'll be something that everyone takes out of this whole situation. But no, that sounds great. That sounds a bit like our list of things to do as well. So, well, no, that's fabulous. We've made good time, I guess.
That was quick.
I know, that's what happens.
We go on for hours.
Exactly.
Are we boring your audience?
What's that?
No.
Are we boring your audience?
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. And those who have missed it, it's on Facebook and it'll go on YouTube, so you can tune in any time and watch this. But seriously, Mark, thanks for being
Thank you.
So supportive of us, and it's really appreciated, and that's been great to chat with you. Hopefully, we've inspired a few people to go out and buy SOS Gin.
And we look forward to seeing your Navy strength as well. So once it comes out, Save Our Souls.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're at 60% APV.
Ooh, nice. That is it. Well, thanks for the wee teaser. We look forward to hearing more about that after all this is over. So we'll watch with bated breath. But no, thank you very much for joining us, and I guess we'll catch up soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
You take care.
Take care.
All the
Bye.
best.
Okay, everyone. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. We certainly did. As Mark said, it's could keep talking for longer, but we appreciate everyone needs to get back to their evening. But yeah, great guys and great gin, so recommend you get yourselves a bottle.
Yeah. Well, I think who have we got coming up next?
We've got Jim and Debs, or I guess their Sunday names, James and Deborah. We'll see what they want to be referred to. On Friday.
From Macintosh Gin.
Oh, it would help if I said the brand, yeah. So we've got them on Friday.
At 8 o'clock. And then I think Monday we've got Craig Guinness from SOS Spirits.
Right, great, Craig.
Joining us. So keep an eye on our social media channels anyway. It's got all the details of forthcoming people that will be joining us for a round of Scottish Gin. So thanks once again for joining us. Take care, stay safe, and we'll catch you soon.
Good
Cheers.
night. Bye.
See ya.